Why does the narcissist cry during certain films? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. From time to time, people contact me and ask, H.G., I was with a narcissist, or I am with a narcissist, and I've accessed your work, and I understand that they have no emotional empathy, that they are unable to empathize with other people. That means they can't empathize with me. They can't empathize with their children. They can't empathize with other people in their lives. And therefore, how could it be that they appear to empathize with the plight and situation of somebody that they've watched in a film? Surely that can't be right. After all, if they can't empathize with me and I'm their intimate partner, or with the plight of their children, how is it that they somehow identify with and feel sorry for or become upset by a portrayal, often fictional, in a film? H.G., the narcissist I'm with, blubs at the way we were. H.G., all I have to do is put Bambi on and the tears flow from the narcissist. H.G., watching The Notebook or Dead Poets Society brings a tsunami of tears. H.G., my narcissist only has to watch Schindler's List and they're crying. Silently, but crying nevertheless, the tears trickling down their face. H.G., Texas Chainsaw Massacre causes them to start blubbing. Well, maybe not the last one. But films such as the ones that I've described and others besides are often quoted to me by individuals wondering, how is it, or why is it that the narcissist cries when dealing with certain films? In some instances, any kind of sad film brings out the blubbing. With other narcissists, it's certain films that cause the tears to flow, and therefore they wonder, what is it about that film in particular that, to use a popular phrase, hits the narcissist in the feels? Well, first of all, what you might be dealing with is a narcissist that is telling you about a film that upsets them. I watched Bambi last night and I was in pieces. I couldn't stop crying, declares the narcissist in telling you. But you weren't there to witness them do it. Indeed, nobody was. They were on their own. And in such circumstances, what you're actually witnessing is a revision of history. The narcissist crying on their own serves no purpose. The fact is, they tell you that they cried in order to manipulate you by making them seem like they feel that they fit in, that they're similar to you, and to elicit a response from you, invariably some form of sympathy or compassion. In many instances, telling you that they've cried at a film is a pity play, commonly undertaken by mid-range narcissists so that you respond with sympathy and compassion, which demonstrates that you are under control, and you provide fuel to that person also. Thus, when the narcissist tells you that they got upset after watching The Lovely Bones, you don't know whether they did or they did not. You weren't there. And in such circumstances, it's actually the case that the narcissist didn't cry, because it wouldn't have served any purpose for them to cry. But it serves a purpose for them to tell you that they cried, so that you then feel sorry for them. And thus, you've been subjected to a pity play manipulation. However, what about the instances where you're sat there, perhaps popping some popcorn into your mouth, and you look alongside and you can see that the narcissist is snivelling, that the tears are trickling down their face? Sometimes it might be ugly crying that's taking place. And you think to yourself, why are they crying now? What is it about this particular film? Perhaps in some instances the film isn't that sad, and you're wondering, why are they getting so upset about this particular movie? Does it remind them of something from their childhood? Does it touch upon a particular nerve that sets them off? Does it perhaps pull at a particular vulnerability of the narcissist? And therefore this is the result? No. Once again, what you're witnessing is a manipulation. It's entirely performative. The narcissist adopts the tears because it prompts a reaction from you. Often, if you're watching a film with the narcissist, where is your attention? It's on the film. It's on the television. It's on the cinema screen. It's not on the narcissist. And that won't do, because your attention being elsewhere means you're wounding the narcissist. You're not under control. You're on the narcissist's radar because you're sat beside them or sat across the room from them, and therefore the narcissism deems that it's appropriate for the narcissist to take some step, some action, to put you back under control and to draw some fuel from you. Thus, a common way of doing so would be to start to cry. Often, the narcissism gets it right in the sense of it recognises that this is a sad film, and therefore the appropriate thing to do with a sad film is to cry. Thus, the response is expected and commensurate. The narcissism has got it right. Its faking is accurate. And therefore, the narcissist cries to a particular film, one of the ones that I've mentioned. For instance, it might be My Life Without Me, or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, An Affair to Remember, those kind of tear-jerkers that occur, Kramer versus Kramer. And thus the narcissist cries, and you think, yes, well, it is a sad film, and I see that they're crying, and you're moved to respond to it, which means that you show that you're under control, the wounding ends, and you provide some fuel. In other instances, the crying doesn't quite fit. Why on earth are they crying at Transformers? It's not a particularly sad film, but the point is that it's prompted a reaction from you. Even if you don't express sympathy, you might say, what is the matter? What? Bumblebee getting squashed has upset you? Oh dear. You've reacted. And that's what the narcissist requires from you. From your attention to shift away from Megan Fox on the screen and Bumblebee to go on to you, with the consequence that you've just provided the narcissist with fuel. You might be a little bit puzzled by the response, and indeed your reaction might actually be to provide challenge fuel. But the point is, you're responding. And invariably, it's the case of an individual that's afflicted by emotional thinking that they'll often overthink the reaction of the narcissist, thinking that there is something about a film in particular. Why might it be then that the narcissist will cry at some films and not at others when watching sad films with you? Again, it goes back to the issue of being under control and the provision of fuel. It may be the case that the narcissist is already well fueled and therefore doesn't need to draw fuel from you, therefore no tears flow. What about the issue of control? What if you are sat watching the film and you're not watching the narcissist? Surely that's a problem. Well, not if it's a film that the narcissist has wanted to watch and has suggested it to you and you've gone along with it. The fact that you're watching the film means that you've agreed with the narcissist that it's watchable. Thus, you've demonstrated that you are under control. And thus, your continued watching accords with what the narcissist wants, which means that you remain under control. So the fact is, it's not actually the content of the movie that affects the narcissist, but the necessity, as always, of the prime aims, because the narcissist is with another human being. And therefore, the experience of tears is driven by the need to control you and to draw fuel from you. In some instances, it occurs on a regular basis. In other instances, it might be incongruous. And in other instances, it doesn't occur at all. But the point is, those reasons behind it are linked. As always, as it is with anything to do with the narcissist, it is about the pursuit of the prime aims. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.